Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Sigh of Relief. I'm Tony, and joining me is my co-host Kaya. Kaya, what's going on?
Not a lot going on today. How's your day going?
Well, I actually went to sleep at a decent time last night, so that's the reason why we're on time today, and I'm not, sleepy. So far so good. How was your weekend?
Good. I woke up this morning feeling better than I did yesterday. Had a
Okay,
night out on Friday, so
okay. So it
recovered.
sounds like you were like me. I was in the streets Friday, so luckily I
That's
was
the best
able
day.
right because I got 2 days to recover before I go back to work. So
Exactly.
So what did you
Exactly.
what did you do?
Nothing too crazy, just a little bar hopping and
Okay, nice, nice.
yeah, nothing too crazy. What about you?
So the same bar hopping. I went to a new cocktail bar that I've been, trying to go to for the past year. I finally went. It was extremely small, and they had a DJ. And so once the DJ got up there and started playing music, I left because the place was too small for a DJ. Um,
Oh,
got
too
some
many
Mexican
people
food.
or just too small to be up and dancing and
It wasn't really people dancing. It was the DJ was playing EDM music, and the place was the
oh,
size of
okay.
my living room, like
Okay.
literally the size of my living room. And I'm like, it's too small for this loud ass music.
Gotcha.
Um,
Okay.
uh, did that, got some Mexican food, then bar hopped some more, got drinks, and so I actually probably drank about 5 or 6 cocktails. So I was able to,
Oh, you
still
was
make it
turned up.
home. Oh no, I wasn't drunk. I still drove home. I wasn't like intoxicated, so I
Okay.
was drinking water. Got home. I think I was in
Oh.
bed by like midnight. So
Oh, that's a perfect
so
Friday night then.
for you, that's a perfect Friday night. I like to stay out a little later than
Oh
midnight.
no.
So
Mm-mm. That's perfect
yeah,
timing for me.
nah, I wanna stay out until 2. I want to get kicked out of these places. So
No, thank you.
yeah, yep. How's your unpacking going?
It's going well. I am down to the last little few pieces and just,
Okay,
getting those bigger decorative pieces, but we're almost done.
right.
We're almost there.
Right. And anytime you move to a new apartment, there's always some shopping you have to do. So I know you're
Ooh,
probably going to be on Amazon buying
yep.
this, buying that, throwing that in the garbage, even though it's nothing wrong with it.
Nothing at all. I got a new air
Right.
fryer,
Oh, nice,
two
nice,
new
nice.
mops. Who needs two new
Okay.
mops? But
Yeah.
yeah, it's getting
Yeah.
crazy.
Okay. Air fryer sounds nice. I bought some don't judge me. I bought some cheese sticks from the grocery store a few months ago, and I'm like, I can make this in the air fryer. So I probably will buy an air fryer in the future and make some cheese sticks because I don't know why I'm eating cheese sticks, but I've
You
been
mean like
craving them.
mozzarella sticks?
Yeah,
Okay, when you
definitely.
said cheese sticks, I thought you meant like string cheese, and I was
Oh
like,
no,
nobody
no,
goes
no, no,
to.
no, no, no,
I was like, those
no.
are expired already.
No, no, no. I'm not eating mozzarella
Okay.
cheese. But and also got my taxes done yesterday. So
Oh, nice.
fortunately I didn't owe money because I was getting nervous because
Yay.
the deadline is like 2 days from now. And if you owe money, you gotta
Hmm.
pay before the deadline. You can't pay after the
Oh,
deadline
really?
unless you set up no, unless you set up some type of payment plan. So and I don't want a payment plan. I just want to get rid of it. But luckily
That's
I'm getting a
news to
return.
me.
So oh yeah,
Oh,
I
you
know I
are.
owe money. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
wow.
enough to do some it ain't much. It's a little bit.
Some minor damage.
Yeah, it's not nothing too bad. So,
Oh, I'm not
but
getting
that's what's up.
anything. I haven't gotten things back. I haven't gotten money back in years, so I
Right, since
applaud you
probably
for that.
college.
Nice. Yep,
Right.
literally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
college. We used to get those rebates from scholarships and grants and loans and what else?
And taxes
Anytime you
too.
got yeah,
You could
taxes. I think
claim
they
some
used
of
to give
that
us
stuff on
like
taxes.
right. I think they used to give us like what 500 or $1,000 back. So
Yep.
in
It was
college, that
some
was a
good
lot of
money.
money.
Yeah.
Right, right. That's a lot of money in college. When you ain't making much and you like, oh, $500,
Yeah.
man, I could do a lot with this. I mean, with $500 or even with $20, you were able to go out when we were in college and
Hmm.
like get drinks
Oh yeah.
for a few
Oh
dollars and
yeah.
still go home with money in your pocket. But now, no, that
$1.
one drink, yeah, that's your money. That
Yes.
is your
I
money.
remember there was this place in college that had dollar shots, and me and my
Oh
friends,
wow.
we would go like round for round, and we'd be like, "Oh,
Mhm.
get them around," and we would think we were the coolest people on earth.
Right,
But
right. With a dollar. With
now
a,
$1,
You're not doing much with
Yeah,
that dollar.
it's not
You know, you
happening.
you can't even park your car for a dollar. Some of these places they want you to pay to
Right.
park, or you got to Uber there, and Uber is gonna cost you 10, 15, probably $20. But
Yep.
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I remember when I was in college, we had a place, they had dollar beers and they had free tacos. So we would
Ooh.
go on Thursdays for dinner. Like that was our
Hmm.
dinner, like eating these free tacos
Yeah.
at this like bar. And the tacos came from like, it was pork tacos. It came from a pig. They had the roasted pig sitting on the counter. And we would just
Oh,
like
it was
literally,
probably good.
oh yeah, it was
Like it
real
was
good. We
actually
ate,
good.
that was our
Yeah, I
dinner.
bet. Oh my
And
gosh.
so
Yeah.
and so we would like order Coronas and like dollar beers and just like constantly get one taco, get back in line, get another taco,
Mhm.
and go home. And so the price of tacos started going up and the price of beer started going up. We had to,
Yep.
go find somewhere else to get, cheap food and liquor.
Yep. The
So
days. I miss those
cool. Yeah.
days.
Yeah, definitely. Times have definitely changed.
Yes.
Right, right. So, while doing some research, I found a good story for us to talk about. It relates to Will Smith. And so, as everyone's seen, Will Smith, he put his hands on Chris Rock in the Oscars back in 2022. And so now Will is attempting to, rebrand himself. So I don't know if you've seen him. He's on like podcasts, he's on interviews, he's trying to rebrand himself, basically, like I said. So he
Will
recently
Smith rebrand himself?
a Will Smith
Oh,
rebrand, right? So
mm,
he recently
okay.
put out an album, and I'm pretty sure I could tell by your facial expression you didn't even know about it. But his album, oh, you knew about it?
I didn't know there was an album. I heard a piece of a song.
Okay, okay, yeah. Well, his album flopped, so apparently it sold like less than like 500 copies.
Oh,
Um, yeah, it flopped,
wow.
and so
Yeah,
you
bad.
heard pieces of it. I haven't heard any of it. So from the pieces that you heard, what were your thoughts?
It wasn't good. That's the nicest way I can put it. It didn't sound like
Mhm.
anything Will Smith. It sounded like he was trying to, I don't know, emulate something that he thought maybe the younger generation
Right,
would like. But
right.
I mean, Will Smith is always going to be Will Smith. And I think
Mhm,
to like our generation and
mhm.
older and maybe a little bit younger, I don't think any of us are expecting a rebrand from Will Smith. Like
Right.
I am not expecting for him to rebrand. Are you?
No, we know who
After
Will
the whole
Smith
flop?
is. No, we know who Will
Exactly.
Smith is. Like
So
you can't rebrand.
yeah, so I'm not really sure why he would rebrand anyway, but yeah, his music, I'm just gonna go ahead and say I've never been like a diehard Will Smith
No one
fan
has.
as far as his rapping or music.
No
But
one.
some people like his
Yeah.
music from
Back in the
like
day,
summer,
before we were born,
summertime. Yeah,
I
but
was
that's
listening to that recently.
I would never put that song on. Like that is just not my preference.
it's it's not my preference, but it's like a summer, like growing up in Chicago
Hmm.
when it stopped snowing in the spring.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I could
people
see that.
put this music on. People
Yeah.
put that, like radio stations will play that like back to back to
Hmm.
back because it's summertime in Chicago. That's like you
Yeah, that
can't beat
makes
that.
sense. Summertime shot,
Right.
but
Right.
I still wouldn't play that. Like if I was having a barbecue, I wouldn't be like, put on that Will Smith's summertime. Like I wouldn't. But what were you gonna say?
No, I'm saying you're not gonna put it on because nobody's gonna ask for it. But I mean, you'll throw it in there a little bit for the older folks to be like, for your mom and dad to be like, oh yeah, I remember that song. I was in high school, or when that song came out. So
Maybe if it came on shuffle, I
mm,
might keep it on. But
right.
um, I don't know what I don't know who his target was for the music or the song that I heard. And
Mhm.
I also just have a beef with any musicians, rappers, singers putting out albums and not putting in the work behind it, like promoting it. Beyonce started that trend, and I think that everybody thinks that they can do that, and everybody is not Beyonce or Rihanna or
Mhm.
Drake. So
Right.
I think that he probably would have saw a lot more success if he had promoted it and people knew about it. He may have sold more than 500 copies. 500 is extremely low for
Yeah. I
the
mean,
caliber of Will Smith. That is extremely low.
well, it's not the 80s anymore. So I mean, it's not the 90s. It's not the Fresh Prince no more. I mean, like ask some of
Still.
the young people in your family, ask, your siblings or
Oh, they don't know who
your
that is,
cousins. Yeah, they
probably.
don't know who Will Smith is. Most people don't know Will Smith started out as a rapper. They don't know Ice Cube started out as a rapper. Queen Latifah
Yeah,
started out as a rapper. They don't know
true.
these folk, Dr. Dre, a rapper. They don't know that these were rappers. And
Yeah.
so it's funny because when I saw the album cover, I
Oh,
thought it was a
what
joke.
is it?
Like
What is it?
he's wearing he looks like he's in the 90s. So
Oh,
imagine your
okay.
dad, you talked about your dad last week. Imagine if I gave your dad like a fitted cap, like an oversized, like sports
Okay.
type jacket, some blue
Yeah.
jeans, some I think he had on some Air Force Ones. Like people still wear
It's
Air
giving
Force
straight
Ones.
90s.
It's right, right. Like people
Okay.
wear Air Force Ones now, but like Air Force Ones are a classic. But the athletic apparel, like people don't wear that anymore.
Right.
Um, you just see like an old guy trying to be hip, and he's like he has a fitted on, and he's leaning back and he's holding his fitted, and it's like it made me reflect on how I dress. I'm like, I don't dress like that, but I'm like, I cannot look like this when I'm 56. I think he's 56
Right.
when I'm in my 50s. I don't want to look like this. Don't be Will
He
Smith.
is a he is an older gentleman though. Like when you're starting to push 60s, that is getting, you're becoming elder.
Right.
Well, elderly, I guess.
Mhm.
But I would like to listen to more of at least a full song. I would like to listen to just to see like what the gist of the album,
Mhm. Mhm.
so that I could, I guess, give more critique. So maybe this is something that we can follow up on because I
Yeah,
actually want to listen and see.
definitely. Go to Spotify or Apple Music after the show and listen to some 2025 Will Smith and you know for the folks on YouTube, leave your comments and tell us your thoughts as well. But I know
Yes,
you like old artists. You talked about
I
that
do.
one
I
old
do.
guy from a few weeks ago. I forgot
Keith Sweat.
Keith Sweat. He's old, and I recently saw a video of Genuine attempting to jump off stage, and it wasn't successful. His
Yeah,
knees,
he's
his
older
knees gave
too.
out. His knees
Yeah,
gave out. He needed assistance. He started grabbing everything around him because he couldn't catch his balance.
he's a little bit older. Yeah, he's probably in his 50s too.
All these guys you like in their 50s,
I mean, they make good
you like
music. What
you
can you
like 50 and
say?
60-year-old man. Will Smith should have made a song with the Isley brothers. That's who he should have made a song with, because
I
that's
just
his
saw.
demographic. Uh-oh, who you
True,
see?
and that probably would have it. But I saw the Isley, well, one of them, because it's
Mhm.
whatever. I saw one
There's
of
two
them
of them.
performing, and ooh, he probably older than, he's probably in his 60s or 70s.
More like 70s, 80s. Some guys been around
Okay,
since
I was
our
gonna
parents
say
was in their 20s and 30s.
he wasn't even standing up doing his performance. He was sitting down. So that's
Oh,
where he is. But
that's
yeah,
how Genuine's next performance is going to be, sitting down because his knees then already blew out from jumping off stage for you. And then you got Usher out here kissing people in the audience, and what is he like? And he had to be in his 40s, in his mid to late 40s.
yeah, yeah. And married. Let's not forget he's
Oh, I
also
didn't know he
married
was married.
while he
Yeah,
kissing
so
people. But
yeah,
um, yeah, I so Will Smith definitely would need to go back to the drawing board. He has kids that are his kids are in their 20s. I
yeah,
mean,
they're
he should
adults.
know. Yeah, but he should know in order to release an album in these days, like he has to have it on TikTok, he has to have
Got
it
to have a
on Insta.
single.
Like, yeah, it has to be on platforms and in content
Mhm,
creation to also
mhm,
get traction. So I mean, I think he could go back to the drawing board and maybe
mhm.
release like what do they call it? A deluxe version or something and kind of redo it, do some more promotion. No. I think he would sell more than
Are you
5 million
gonna buy the
copies.
deluxe version?
I'm not buying nobody's album in
Exactly,
2025.
exactly,
I don't buy
exactly.
albums,
So
but
I
I may
think Will
stream
Smith,
it.
right? I think Will Smith's son was on the album, Big Sean, and some other like A-list
Oh,
musicians were. Look, see, they were on the
oh, he
album,
had features.
and
Okay.
nobody listened to it.
They didn't know about it to listen to. I still don't really, like I said, I knew there was a song. I didn't know there was an album.
Mhm. Right,
So
right.
the promotion is not there,
Yeah. So
unfortunately.
maybe he should have performed at Coachella. So and as you know, Coachella, it's a huge music event or festival that goes on every year, and I think this year is they're projecting like over 100,000 people. So
Mm.
um, they probably would have booed him off stage. Young, like we just talked about,
Probably.
people in their
Yeah.
20s, they're gonna see Will Smith. They may run. They may
Yeah.
think they're gonna get slapped. So
I
they wouldn't
still
know what
to
to
this
expect.
I'm going a little backwards, but still to this day, do you think that slap was real? Because to this day, I still think it was an attempt to, what do you call it? It was like a marketing scheme. Like, I do not feel like that
Mm.
was real. And I think they kind of just ran with it because they saw how much traction it got. But I do not feel like he really got up out of his seat, went on that stage, had all that time from when he was walking from his seat to on stage to slapping
Yeah.
Chris Rock. I don't think that he just lost control and did that. I really don't.
So you said a lot of time from walking in your seats on stage.
Yeah.
If he was pumped, fully emotion the way he was to slap, put his hands on Chris Rock, that was
Hmm.
one step. That was quick. But if you're the one that's getting your hands put on your face, it was a long time because you saw Will Smith approaching. Will Smith is probably 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah, he's taller. Yeah.
Chris Rock is probably shorter than you. Like Chris Rock, a little guy.
Really?
He little. He's small. He's small.
Okay.
Um, I would have at first I thought it was like PR, but when you think about what came afterwards, like Chris Rock didn't release a special. He didn't go on tour. Well, I don't think he went on tour. Like he didn't get like new
Hmm.
fame. Chris Rock is already famous. I mean, he could just release something, do some podcasts, and people already know. Will Smith literally fell off the face of the earth.
I don't agree with that. I think that Chris Rock is a household name. Will Smith is a household name. I think that
Yeah,
they both got publicity off of that. Because now when you think of Chris Rock, you think, oh, he got slapped by Will Smith. Like, I don't think
yeah.
about his comedy. I don't
So you
know.
just you forget Chris Rock is funny because he got he got some
I think,
paws put on him.
yeah, I think slap first, then I think everybody hates Chris second.
I don't even think
That's
of
just,
Everybody Hates Chris.
I do. I don't know.
I mean,
What do you think?
I think I,
What do you think about after the slap? Because I know you think about the slap first.
I think about the slap first is his most recent thing. I think about his like antics on the sideline at the Knicks games, him talking to Kobe Bryant when
Oh,
Kobe Bryant was in the middle of a game. Um,
I don't know about any of that.
yeah, yeah. So Kobe Bryant was like literally sitting on the bench in the middle of a game, and Chris Rock
Mm,
is like attempting to distract him and talk to him, but Kobe Bryant is like laser focused on the game, and Chris Rock is talking to the side of Kobe's face, and it's like a viral clip. You can Google it; it's still out there. But
okay.
Chris Rock is, it's old now. You have so many like internet comedians that are attempting to be funny because a lot of these people are not funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
agreed.
um, and some of them make good skits that I laugh at, but they're not comedians. Like to me, to be a comedian, you have to get on stage and do stand up. Like you have to make
Agreed.
people laugh. You can't do
Hmm.
skits for TikTok and Instagram because you're not a real stand up comedian doing that.
I agree.
Somebody like Cat Williams, he don't do
Nobody's touching
stuff
Cat
on,
Williams.
yeah, he don't do social media like that. But if he did some
Yeah,
skits, oh, I mean, people they're going viral.
they'd
But
be
if Cat
hilarious.
Williams went
Yeah.
on stage, we've seen Pimpin' Chronicles. Like
Hmm.
his jokes are classic. I mean, once you
Yeah,
talk about Tink
that's
Tink,
true.
everybody knows what you're talking about. That runner from South Africa with the paper clips on his legs. So,
We love
everybody knows
we
Tink
love
Tink.
Cat Williams.
Right.
Yeah,
And then his interview with Shannon, what, a year ago or 2 years ago,
yeah.
I saw that live. And then
Iconic.
when I saw the number of people in that live stream, I'm like, oh, this is going to be the biggest interview ever.
Yeah.
I literally, I stopped working and I watched, I watched the interview.
Don't say
So,
that on camera.
okay. Well, it was a Saturday. It was a
There we
weekend.
go. There we
It
go.
was a weekend. It was a weekend. But
Uh,
yeah, so yeah, Chris, sorry, not Chris, Will Smith, do not release a deluxe album. Kaya will
I
not
think he
support whether it's
should.
a traditional album, a
I'll
vinyl,
stream
a
it.
CD, a cassette. She's not supporting you. She won't even
Spotify.
stream it. She says she's gonna stream it. She's gonna probably look at a clip on TikTok of somebody else laughing at you, and that's it.
Facts.
So yeah, yeah.
Facts.
You want to say anything about Will Smith before we move on?
Just that I still think it's a PR stunt. I don't care. It's a scheme that Todd set up. You're not gonna understand that
Mm,
reference because it's Real Housewives related. But
okay.
yeah, I don't believe it. I don't trust it. But
So
anywho,
the slap was a PR stunt to get people to buy his album that nobody bought.
no, I think it was just an Oscars setup. Honestly, I do.
Yeah, I kind of thought about that because the Oscars ratings were like, I think at like a low at that point.
Yes, people had kind
And they,
of boycotted the Oscars for a couple of years.
yeah. And so I think it's been what 2 or 3 years, 3 years since then. And I'm not watching the Oscars, but I mean, if they ask me to
No,
host Oscars, if you're listening to this, Kaya and I are available to
just
host.
you.
Okay, well, as long as you're not coming on the stage attempting to slap me, we're good. So,
Depends on what you say.
all right. So yeah, I'm about to dish you and then get you to come slap me, and then we can get more people to watch our YouTube channel.
There we go. A
Right,
scheme
right,
that Kaya set up.
right,
Let's
right,
change
right,
it to that.
right. So speaking of musicians performing, Coachella is currently going on right now. I don't think you've been. I've never been.
No.
It's a huge festival out in California. Like I mentioned a few moments ago, it draws over 100,000 people. This year, I think they have some big, headliners. They have, I think Sabrina Carpenter, uh, T Pain. Who else is there? Post
Meg the
Malone,
Stallion,
Meg the Stallion, Lady Gaga.
Travis Scott.
Huge, yeah, Travis Scott. Huge, big names, huge names. But one of the reasons why they're going viral is for you know something that we can relate to. But we even though we've never been to Coachella, they're going viral for the cost of food and I guess condiments at
Oh,
their event. A young lady recently posted something on social media where she spent over $102 on I think 4 tacos, a lemonade, and like a flatbread pizza. And so
wow.
we've all been to live events and we know how
Yes.
the markup is at Disney World, even though it's not a live event. Uh, a Houston
The
Rockets game, a
fair.
baseball, the fair,
Yeah.
like everything is expensive. Like, have you? I know you have. When the last time you've been to a live event, concert, festival, and you went to the food truck and you're like, damn, like I just want some water, and it's
Um,
$20, $30.
I would say the last time would probably have been the Dallas Fair. But
Mm,
I can say when I went to rodeo this year, I
mm,
actually thought that the prices were very reasonable. Like we didn't even
okay,
spend like per person. I don't think we spent over $150, which I was.
okay,
I don't even think we spent over $100, if I could be quite honest. I mean, we are getting waters, like a bunch of waters. We got a bunch of
mm,
food. We went to a bunch of different vendors, so I can actually
mm,
say that it was very affordable. But I do feel like in Dallas when I went, it was pricey. But
right.
the issue that I have with the markups is obviously I get that it's going to be markups because you're bringing food
From
obviously
outside,
to this venue, and yeah, I mean people have
got
to
to
be fed
travel.
somehow,
Yeah,
right?
people got to back. Yeah.
Right. My issue is that you're getting very low quality for a very marked up price. So I can guarantee you that flatbread was probably DiGiorno or Home Run
Less than
In.
that. Less than no, don't disrespect Home Run
Yeah,
In. It was worse than Home Run In. They probably took some Texas toast, put some cheese and pepperonis
honestly,
on it,
yeah,
and some
yeah,
some other meats, and like put it in
yes.
a toaster oven.
And the lemonade was probably something from the Dollar Tree, something probably very inexpensive. So that's
Please
the
add
issue
water
that I
lemonade.
have. Yes, or
Yeah.
like some powder that they,
Mm,
put
mixed up.
tap water in. Yeah. So that's really where I have the issue at. Like, if we're gonna give like a decent product and mark it up, then okay, like whatever, I'll pay
Mm,
for it. Or we're giving, I can't think of the water brand, but like I think they're like $5 at the store. Let's just say Smart Water, for example. If we're
Oh,
giving Smart
Kirkland.
Water
Kirkland, the cheap water. Is that
or
Kirkwood?
Dasani,
Which Sunny costs. It's like Coca-Cola. It's like name brand.
Dasani is like some of the worst
Okay.
bottled water
Dasani,
on
we
the
love you. If
market.
you want to sponsor the show, but okay. So they're using
But
bad
anywho,
quality of water. Yeah.
yes. So I think that's probably where a majority of the issue lies. And did you see the prices of the tickets? Like, do you know how much it is to get into Coachella?
I think it was almost 1,000.
I think VIP is like 13, $1,400, and I think like general admission is like $600 or something. So you're paying that. Obviously, it's more than one day. I believe it's 2 days,
I
two
think it's
three
two
days,
weekends.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think you pay. Yeah,
Oh,
you
for the
pay for
Friday,
one
Saturday.
weekend, then you
Yeah.
pay,
Pay for
yeah,
another one.
for the next weekend. But let us know if we're wrong, y'all.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a lot of money to pay to get in. I'm not expecting food or drinks to be included, but to
Right.
pay another $100 for that's one meal. That's not even a full day's worth of eating.
Right.
So yeah, I could see people's frustration.
Yeah, and people are also complaining about, I guess, the weather. So I think it's probably unseasonably warm in California right now, or that part of California.
Okay.
And also
No, they have no control over weather
campers
though.
or the people in vehicles that were camped out, so they're probably blocking the roads. But I mean, Coachella is something you go to probably once in your lifetime, unless
Yeah,
you are in
if you
VIP,
have
unless you
money,
are
yeah.
backstage, then you
Hmm.
probably go every year. Um, but
Yep.
I've been to Made in America before, and it's expensive. I've been to the state fair. It's expensive. I mean,
Hmm.
and you know how much it's going to cost, but until you get there and you have to go to a food truck and you just want a bottle of water and you like
Right. ten
$20.
dollars for water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's not even a
insane.
16-ounce bottle of water. They give you that 8 ounce or that, 10-ounce bottle of
Yep.
water. And it's
Right.
like, you still thirsty after one bottle. And then don't
Yep.
drink too much because then you got to go use the porta potty. And you don't want to use the porta potty.
No tissue, no
You
soap,
ain't,
nothing.
and it's gonna be
Barely
hot and
water.
stinking. Yeah.
Yes.
And my fear of going in a porta potty is that somebody's gonna like come push it over because I've seen it in a movie, and I think like I'm gonna be that guy that like walking around with porta potty juice on my
Ugh.
body, and I ain't trying to be that guy. So
Well, thankfully that hasn't happened to you thus far,
right.
but
So that's insane. But
I will say
maybe
though, I was gonna say that I think that the price point, they really have some heavy hitters
right,
at that concert. I definitely think just for the general admission, not talking about VIP, but I do think that people are getting their money's worth. Like being able to see Meg, Glorilla, Sabrina Carpenter, like being able to see all those
right,
people for less than $1,000. I mean,
right,
that I do think that that's a steal.
right. Because you gotta imagine some of these artists do 30-minute sets, an hour set.
Hmm.
So you can see multiple artists on different stages. If you like
Yeah.
multiple artists for less than $1,000. Future performed at Rolling Loud, I think a few
Hmm.
months ago, and I think his set was like 45 minutes. And I've been to a Future concert, and 45 minutes, I mean, that's enough for me.
Yeah.
I mean, you play the songs I like, I'm good. And then I can go listen to
I was
another artist
gonna
I like.
say,
Yeah, I'm good.
play
So you may
March
be
Madness
hot.
and I'm good.
Yeah, I want to hear all of it. I want to hear, I ain't gonna start singing the songs on here, but I want to hear everything because I still listen to Future.
Same.
So and then he just had an album come out with Metro. So I've been playing that in the car. So that's what's up.
I wonder if Future is gonna be there. He may be there. I may have not just
Yeah,
saw that
yeah,
he's
he
headlining,
may
but
be. He may be. So this next story is something I learned about probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. I learned about it on the internet before the couple that actually produces the show, Pop the Balloon, told the world. And when I learned about it on the internet, I'm like, oh, that's nice. They could take this same show
same
and put it
show.
on a bigger platform. I mean, that's good. I mean,
Keyword.
they do numbers. They do
Hmm.
numbers. I mean, I seen Saturday Night Live do a skit with Dave Chappelle with Pop the Balloon. I'm like, oh,
Yep.
they're crossing over.
Yes.
But recently, and you can add to this, they announced that they have a deal with Netflix to, I guess, executive produce
Yes.
a Netflix version. And so I didn't watch the first episode. I know it premiered, I think, this week. I saw it trending on Netflix. I think it was number one or number two. I didn't watch it, but I did watch the trailer on YouTube and read the comments, and all of the comments were negative. Every single one of them. So I know you got some thoughts on this
Rightfully
story
so.
with Pop the Balloon uh, premiering on
Uh,
Netflix.
yes. And I will say a disclaimer: I did not watch it either. I just saw some clips of it and obviously read some reviews on it. But obviously, Pop the Balloon is, it went from being like this thing where everybody was like, if you watch that, you're low vibrational. You
I
have
like it.
low vibrations.
Right.
Hey, I'm going to go ahead and admit I was one of those people in the beginning. This was
Mhm.
before Arlettes because there's a lot of different versions of
Yeah,
Pop
Les
the
is the best
Balloon.
one. Yeah.
Yes. So those other ones, I was like, this is stupid. Why are y'all doing this? This is
Mhm.
for, like the younger generation. This is for teenagers. But then Arlette and her husband, they had their version. And I'm not going to lie, that's my guilty pleasure. I'm
Oh
washing
yeah,
dishes,
watch it.
I'm cleaning up,
Yeah,
I'm
every
putting on Pop the
Wednesday.
Balloon.
Right, right.
It's good. I can't say that I've like watched a full episode from start to finish, but I've
Mhm.
definitely watched quite a bit of it.
Mhm.
Um, but like you said, I think that people were expecting to see Pop the Balloon, but a more produced version
Mhm.
on Netflix, and that they did not deliver whatsoever. So the host
Mhm.
Yvonne is
Oh, don't get me started.
she she was one of the leading actresses in Insecure, and I'm not sure if you ever watched Insecure with Issa Rae.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what.
Yeah, I
Okay,
learned about yeah, I know who she is. Yeah.
okay.
Surprisingly.
So I'm happy that you do though.
Yeah.
So Insecure is like one of my favorite shows ever. Period.
Mhm.
I think it's an amazing show. So I also think that when people heard that Yvonne was going to be the host, they were even more like, "Yes, I got to watch this." Right.
Mhm.
Um, so when people saw that it was a completely different what's the word? A
Rendition?
completely,
Rendition?
yes,
Yeah.
of the show. There's a live audience.
Oh, it's
I
live
mean,
audience.
there's a live audience there.
No, that
Which
show's not good for live
what's the point
audience.
in
What's the
that?
purpose? Yeah. I can understand the show being live, but live audience, no, no,
Right.
because they're
So
gonna
I
be
think that's,
talking and making noise in the background.
well, I think they should only be laughing, right? You shouldn't be hearing like side conversations. But
Right.
for us, when we grew up, a live audience was for scripted shows. So
Right.
I'm like, is this scripted, unscripted? Like, it's just very confusing.
Mhm.
And then you have, people who don't look like everyday people. They look like content creators and somebody who's, trying
Mhm.
to come up a little bit. So I think that's what made Pop the Balloon what it was, is that it was a little more organic, even though you had
Mhm.
people on there, promoting their businesses and whatever. It just seemed like, me and you going up there and
Right.
boop, popping our balloons.
Exactly. You
So
and I, you and I. And you mentioned promoting businesses. I don't know if you remember this guy. Hey, I'm James from James Cookies. Like it was one guy he kept
no.
promoting this cookie business. I mean, he was a great contestant. But like you said,
Mhm.
people want to see authenticity. People
We
want to
do.
see people that they
We do.
relate to. They want to see you and I on Pop the Balloon. They don't want to
Yes.
see somebody that's obviously clout chasing. Someone
Right.
that's been on multiple shows. They're trying to promote something. They're an actor.
Right.
It's not authentic. And I read that in the
Hmm.
comment section of the original trailer. And when they showed the host, the new host of Pop the Balloon,
Hmm.
I said I didn't even recognize her at first.
Yeah, she does
Like
look a little bit different. Yeah.
they should have got someone younger. No disrespect to the ladies that wear this, but her wig was looked like it was too big. Uh, it was like just like covering her whole, like it was just covering like all of this. Like, and I'm
And
like,
she's a
this woman is
beautiful woman
she's
too.
a beautiful
So
woman. I had to
yeah,
go Google her, and I'm like, who is this? Because I didn't like. I was like, who is this? Oh, this is the lady from the Lisa Issa Rae show. I'm like, this woman is gorgeous in real life.
yeah, very pretty. I don't
And
know what they did.
it's like, yo, like just bring in like now that the show's mainstream, bring in more. You got to reach to you have access to more people that want to be on the show now.
Oh yeah,
That's it.
for
That's
sure.
it. Keep
Yeah,
everything the same. If you don't want Arlette and BM hosting it, you want somebody else to host it. That's fine.
but why
But
not
let
have
them
Arlette
executive
though?
produce because I, honestly, I feel
People
like
love
Netflix.
Arlette.
Oh yeah, yeah, because she's very professional. Like she does her job
She's
well.
funny. Yeah,
Yes,
she
and
would be the
she
perfect
right,
person to
and
do
she's not
it.
biased. She's not like biased towards the
No.
women. She's right in the middle.
Yes.
But I just felt like Netflix is probably gonna, I know Netflix, they're thinking about picking up our show. But um,
Hey,
they probably,
manifestation.
yeah, they probably wanted to do the show regardless. And they just say, hey, let's get
Mhm.
Arlette and BM, her husband, to executive produce. But we'll see how episode 2 goes. Maybe I'll watch episode 2 if the
I'll
comments are
watch it
better.
too. Mhm.
But
I'll watch it
episode
too.
1, I did not watch it. I seen some clips. I saw the trailer, and every single comment was negative.
So my question is this live? Like, are they doing this live?
Yeah, I think
Because you
so.
know
You
Netflix.
you said
Okay,
in front of it's front of a live audience. The way I saw it on Netflix, I saw it on there last night. It had a tag that said live, and I know they're
perfect.
trying to
Okay,
get into live events. They did the Jake Paul and
got
Tyson
it.
fight live. They
Okay,
did the Tom Brady roast. I don't know if you saw the Tom Brady roast. Go watch it.
I didn't.
It's the best roast I've ever seen. It was
Okay.
good. So Netflix, yeah, kudos to that. But we'll see how
So that
episode
means
2 goes.
yeah, and since it is live, they can make changes. It isn't set in stone, which is good since it
Yeah,
didn't have a good first impression. So
yeah, yeah. And of course, the ratings are going to be high because it's Netflix has
hmm
a wider audience.
yes,
Um, but I just hope that was a stunt for episode 1. Um, but they need to bring in people who are not trying to be famous, but just average people. Because on our
hmm
Let's version, you got plumbers, you got
right.
uh, bus drivers, you got content
Nurses,
creators, you got
dentists, yeah,
normal
yep,
people who just got regular jobs. Some people ain't even got jobs on that show.
that too.
They come on the show and they say, "What do you do?" "Oh, I'm an entrepreneur." Like, what does that mean?
And that's
Like,
it.
what does that mean? "Oh, what do you do?" "Oh, I'm a manager."
Right.
A manager of what? Like, I
Right.
manage at work. I don't tell people and in public, I meet them on the street, I'm a manager. No, I tell them what I do. I say I work in this space because
Yes.
I
Right.
feel like a lot of people just say stuff just to, you know, gas people up and
To
make
sound nice. Yeah.
themselves sound bigger than what they actually are.
Yeah.
But come on, Netflix. Hopefully, you guys produce a second episode that's a lot better than the first episode.
We're counting
Um,
on you.
yeah, yeah, you know, and then I'll put Kaya and myself. I'll put our email in the description. So if you want to email us about our show, uh, we can do that as well. So speaking of dating, a state you're familiar with wants to tax online dating apps. So
Oh, heavy.
Washington State wants to tax online dating apps. They've proposed a bill that will require dating apps to pay $1 in tax for every resident that's from the state of Washington. And they want to use this money to fund one of their domestic violence programs. When I first heard this, I thought, like, this is silly. Like, no one's using dating apps the way they used them 6 years ago.
hmm
But I guess they think people are the old folks that drafted these bills. And you're familiar with the state of Washington. What's your thoughts on this story?
I think that it's probably not even older people. As someone who's lived in Washington, this is very, very, very on brand for them. Like
Silly stuff.
extremely on brand. Silly, but I will say they are very forward thinking. I think that they really are pioneers in some spaces. So I wouldn't be shocked if this expanded to other states because they see how well it does and that they could
Mhm.
use this money for maybe
The
not domestic
domestic, yeah,
violence shelters, but other stuff.
right.
Um, so I will say, as someone who lives in Texas now, being from Washington State, I think that Washington does a good job of supporting like its community. Obviously, there's a lot of homeless people, so I'm not
And
neglecting that
addicts.
or taking that away. Yes, and a lot of people on drugs. But I think there's a lot of different reasons for that. But outside of that, Washington has a lot of resources, like
Mhm,
so many mental health,
mhm,
psychiatry, substance. use domestic violence shelters. Like they are
Mhm.
extremely on top of stuff like that. And now living in Texas, I'm always shocked at how those things aren't available here.
Mhm.
Um, so although it sounds like when you read it, I kind of laughed to myself because it sounds crazy. Like we're gonna tax online dating apps, right? But I
Mhm.
actually like the more I talk about it, I actually think it's a cool idea. Everybody's
Mhm.
on dating apps now. Like think about
Mhm.
it. Majority of the people you know have at least one dating app. If you're
Mhm.
charging $1 or $2 for a good cause, I people aren't gonna not be on that app because they have to pay $1 or $2. You know what I
They
mean?
just
They're
gonna
gonna
move
pay
to
for
another
it.
app. They're just gonna move to another app.
Well, they'll probably put it on the bigger ones though,
Mhm. Yeah,
POF,
yeah.
the different,
Yeah. Instagram. That's the dating
maybe.
app.
I mean, but it's not marketed as a dating app.
It's all
But
type of things you get on the Instagram.
that's true. But I guess what's your thought process on it? Like, do you think it's not gonna work or
I thought it was goofy because when I read the story, they want to tax $1 for users, and then they also mentioned taxing people who are actually free users. You can't
hmm
tax free. If I'm
hmm
using a dating app for free, you want me to pay $1? It's not free anymore. At that point, it's not about the dollar. It's about me entering my credit card into your app, and I'm not doing it. I'm not pulling out my wallet and like, oh, here's the numbers, here's the expiration and the security code. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go to the free dating app. I'm gonna go to Instagram. I'm gonna go to TikTok.
I hear you. I
I
hear
know
you.
people.
But
It's
I
not a dating app, but I guarantee you, people there's couples, and you know this that have met on Instagram because
oh
I
yeah,
think you,
for sure.
yeah, because I know people be sliding your DM. So I mean, you know,
I think a lot of people utilize different online tools for dating.
mhm,
I don't think majority of people were just going to use POF as the example. I don't
mhm.
think majority of people who use that platform today are going to say, "Oh, I have to pay $1. I'm not doing it."
But
Um,
you got to also think about not everyone is in our position. Like to us, it's just a
a
dollar, but
dollar? Oh,
to us, it's just a dollar. But when you go to these sites, Hinge, Bumble, Tinder,
hmm
like there's gonna be people on there who are 18, don't have a credit card,
yeah.
19, 20, 21.
Mm,
They're on there. Nobody's gonna wait. No young lady or young man is gonna wait. Oh, I can't wait till I turn 21 so I can join Bumble. No, they're gonna get on Bumble at 17 and lie and say they're 18.
yeah. Agree. Agree. Um, but I think too, I think that they will probably not release it to everybody on the app. I think that they
Mhm.
would probably release it to like premium members or
Yeah.
or something of that nature, right? And even if they aren't, say everybody in that particular state who's on a dating app, say that it doesn't reach that complete audience. If
Mhm.
they make $100,000 to give to this shelter or these two or three branches of a shelter that they have, that's a lot of money for
Mhm.
a
So
nonprofit.
we got to keep in mind these governments or these politicians, they lie. I remember DC rolled out a tax for plastic bags in the grocery store. I don't know if
Yeah.
Seattle does it, but DC does it. Some other
No.
cities do it, where if you go to uh, Kroger or Publix or Whole Foods, for every bag you use, you got to pay, I think, a nickel. Now,
hmm
where I live at now, if I want to take one orange juice and take 20 bags
Right.
and keep pulling them out, I can just do that and walk out. Nobody's going to say anything. They may look at me crazy, but I can
Yeah.
do it. You go to DC, you look at the basket, it's like, where the bags at? You got to ask someone for a bag and they're going to doop, 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 and give you a
Yeah.
bag and charge you a nickel. I don't know how much it costs now. I'm pretty sure it went up to 10 cents or even more. But they did
Probably.
it. The Washington Post did uh, an examination on where this money was going, and it was not going to where it was supposed to go. Instead of using the money to clean up the water systems in the DC metro area, cleaning up the Anacostia and the Potomac River, the money was going to other places, and folks were like siphoning off like money and putting it in their pocket for the causes they were interested in. So it sounds good. It sounds good.
Yeah.
but the money's not going there. It's like the lottery. I think the money from the lottery is supposed to go to education. I mean, these kids ain't educated, so
We know.
you know, yeah, these kids ain't educated, so I want my money
I think
back.
it's a I think that we as a society though, we're always trying to improve things, right? And I
Mhm,
don't think that this is a bad jab at, trying to find money for something else. I don't think it's
right,
terrible.
right.
I think it's
So
progressive.
yeah, yeah, tax. So if I match with somebody on one of these dating apps and I don't like them, I need to contact Washington State and be like, hey, you guys took $1 from me for taxes. This person and we didn't work out. I want my dollar back.
Hey, you are never gonna see it again, I'm sure. That dollar.
Yeah.
But
So, but it's going to a good cause, so that's good. All right.
agreed. Agreed.
So speaking of dating and relationships, I don't know if you've seen this one come across social media or even national news, because this did make national news as well. So a bill has passed the Texas State Senate, and it's preparing to go through the House, the Texas House, and also to the governor's office afterwards. That would allow judges to force fathers to pay back child support based on the conception of the baby. So instead of current state where you don't have to pay child support until day one of the child's birth, Texas
Hmm.
has a bill that will require fathers, if this father or this mother has to pay child support, to pay child support going all the way back to conception. And conception starts, from what I
Yeah.
understand, in like the first week or second week. So do you feel like this is what are your thoughts on this? Do you feel like this is going to get abused? Do you think it's right? What are your thoughts on this?
I don't
Be
have
honest.
kids. So
I'm sorry, what'd
I
you
was
say?
gonna preface it by saying I don't have kids, so let's
Okay.
just go ahead and take my opinion with a grain of
Okay.
salt. But I'm just gonna go ahead and say it from a woman's perspective.
Mhm.
This woman is carrying this child, and things change from the minute she becomes pregnant.
Yes.
Uh, Nutrition changes, exercise should be changing. You have to go to
Uh,
the
Hospital
doctor.
visits. Yeah.
Yeah, have to see specialists. There's a lot that goes into it. So saying that a man doesn't need to jump in until the child is there
Mhm.
is, I think, a little irresponsible. I mean, I
Yeah, I
think in
agree.
a perfect world your spouse would be there with you throughout the process and
Yeah,
paying
yeah,
for
of
stuff
course.
anyway,
They'll
right?
be there. They'll be in a doctor's office. They'll be there to
Yes.
rub swollen feet and feed you chopped fruit.
Go get you a smoothie if you're craving
Right,
that, all that good stuff, right?
right. Because they
Parenting classes, like,
right. No, go ahead, go ahead.
people don't talk about parenting classes, and you're doing latching classes so that you can learn, how the baby is going to latch on, to your body so that you can feed them. So I think there's a lot of stuff, and I'm not expecting for, all men to be thinking about everything that goes into it, but that's also an issue.
Mhm.
If you're not there physically, then you need to be there financially. It's just that simple. So I don't see anything wrong with it personally. Is it going to get abused? Of course, it's going to get abused.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's a decision that two people make when
To
they
adults.
lay
Yep.
down together.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think that people just don't ever consider, if
The consequences of this.
in yes, to say it in simplistic terms, when you lay down with somebody, if you make a whole human being,
Mhm.
whether you want it or not, you have a responsibility to it.
Right,
And
right.
that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. I Not up for debate.
Right. I completely agree. And it's not like a baby is going to be in a stomach for 10 years. The baby's going to be there for 9 months.
Right.
And, I'm not a father, but if my wife is pregnant or, let's say the girl and I, we're not in a successful relationship, I'm still going to be there. Like I'm going to
As you
be at the
should.
hospital visits. I'm going to be at the masseuse. I'm going to be there. I'm going to
Hmm.
be active, in the woman's life and
Right.
the child's life the entire 9 months.
Yes.
Um, but but at the same time, I just think the government should stay out of people's relationships.
They would if people knew how to act, but people don't know how to act. So
Mhm.
unfortunately, somebody has to set some rules and some laws because I mean, if we didn't, then women would be responsible for. And I don't want to say just women because obviously there's single dads out there, but women definitely take the brunt of children, and I
Yeah,
think we
yeah. I
all
mean, the
know that.
courts.
So
Yeah, yeah. We agree to that. And the courts, the way the courts are set up, it's not nice to. It doesn't treat both parents equally. But like I said,
yeah,
it'll be better if the government stay out of folks' relationships. But 9 months, a father should want to be there. And it's funny because I know
exactly.
someone.
Yes.
Yeah, I know someone that I'm friends with right now. Him and his girlfriend are getting ready to have a child, and I think the
Congratulations.
baby's not even here yet. I think the baby is
Hmm.
only like a few weeks old, and he's telling me about the heartbeat because they've already went to
Hmm.
the hospital or the clinic to listen
Nice.
to the heartbeat, and I didn't know you can listen to a baby's heartbeat after I think he said like 3 weeks. They can listen to
Oh,
heartbeat
I
after
don't know
three
the
weeks.
time frame, but
That's
yeah, I would
insane.
assume with today's technology, it
Yeah,
would
three
be yeah
weeks.
sooner.
So, but good luck to the fellas out there who trying to dodge and escape responsibility because them
Right,
Texas
dodge your
judges ain't playing.
responsibility.
Yeah, them
Yeah.
Texas judges, they ain't playing. They ain't playing. So speaking of Texas, we know last week, Slim Thug, Big Hoss or Big Boss, I'm not sure his nickname,
Big boss.
Big Boss, his apartment was burglarized, but there's another story that's going on. Yeah, can you tell us about that?
Yes. So there was a newer story in Houston, I believe it was this week, of a break-in, and I'm gonna go ahead and say the apartment's name, but
Mhm.
it was at Drury Place, which I
Mhm.
believe is in downtown. It's like downtown Heights,
Yeah.
that area, a very
Mhm.
popular area of Houston,
Mhm.
and it looked like some younger gentlemen,
Mhm.
but they were caught on camera, someone's ring camera,
Oh
breaking
man.
into someone's apartment, and it sounded like it was a string of burglaries that happened in that same apartment complex.
Mhm.
So you can literally hear in the video whoever owned the ring camera saying, "Y'all can't be this stupid." Like he's saying that
Mhm.
through his ring camera, so that the burglars know, I see you trying to break into this apartment, and
Mhm.
they just still keep going anyway. So the young lady, she was out on a vacation. I can't remember where she was. Um, but once she, returned, she, made a big fuss about it and said that she would put the videos online and etc.
Mhm.
And the apartment complex released her from her lease. And so she
Mhm.
was obviously, for good reason, frustrated about that. I'm sure she was happy to get out. But I think what she wanted was obviously to hear that the apartment was going to do something about the break-ins, but they were kind of just like, too bad, so sad.
Mhm.
So I think just based off the conversation that we obviously had last week, this is a huge issue in the Houston area, which we talked about. Nobody should be able to get up to these apartments, let alone be caught on a ring camera, breaking in. So it's very scary as,
Yeah, yeah. First
a
they
woman.
hit Slim Thug. Now they just hitting some random woman's apartment. So it's
Yeah.
it's it's crazy, and it's funny because that apartment, like when you said that name to me earlier, like I immediately knew where it was because
Hmm.
I I thought about moving there.
Me too.
But once I
Me too.
once I
Me
read the
too.
reviews and I started
Yep.
seeing the reviews, I said, "Oh no, I can't live here.
You
I
know
can't
what's
live."
funny? It was the reviews for me, and I had called to do a tour. This was last year,
Mhm.
or the year before. I had called to do a tour, and I thought that the lady who answered the phone she wasn't extremely rude, but she was rude. And I feel
Mhm.
like whenever you're gonna live somewhere, that's an immediate, like, if I can't even get in the door without having an issue, then I should probably not live there. So I had set up a tour, and then at the last minute, I was like, no, I'm just gonna pass. I could find somewhere else. So
Mhm.
I guess that was, the planet working.
Right.
But
Well, luckily, yeah, that could have been you. You could have moved in, got burglarized, and got kicked out of your apartment in the same week. So,
but the
you know,
difference for me is I'm litigious, so I
yeah,
love to put a lawyer on the phone. So please
right.
play with me.
Yeah, that happened to me when I lived in an apartment about 6 years ago. I don't know if I told the story on here, but I had just bought a new car, uh, lived in a brand new apartment. The apartment, I think I was like the first tenant in this apartment building. And so I noticed one day they were doing construction on the roof. And I'm like, this building is new. Like, why are you doing construction
Hmm.
on the roof? And so I went to my car one day and I noticed it was like dust on my car. So I started taking pictures. It
Hmm.
was dust all around my car, little pebbles all around my car. So I started taking pictures and, because I already know something's about to happen. And so I took it to the leasing office and I said, hey, what's going on? This building just open. Like, why are you guys doing construction? They're like, hey, we noticed something. We had to get some contractor to address it immediately. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Next day, I go out to my car and I look at my brand new car. I look at the hood and there's a dent the size of my fist on the car. And I'm
Hmm.
like, oh, really? Oh, really? And so I took a picture, marched into the leasing office like I was gonna put hands on them like Chris Rock and Will Smith. And they was just so like casual about it. Like, oh, we can go get a quote, we can take it out of your rent. I said, no,
Take it out my
no.
rent.
I said, I'm gonna pay rent. Y'all gonna give me a check. Y'all gonna
Right.
give me a check. Because when they give you a check, it's gonna leave a paper trail. Like the accounting
Right.
and auditing team is gonna look like, why are y'all paying this guy $2,000, $3,000? What's going on?
Hmm.
And then they're gonna contact the people on the ground and ask questions. But
That and I want my money. I don't want you taking it out my rent.
I complained so much that they let me out of my lease early. And they got my car fixed, but it took them forever to do that. It took them
Hmm.
like well over a month to write me a check for the damage on my car.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like you said, sometimes you gotta go upside somebody's head. You gotta get a lawyer because if not, they're gonna drag their
Yep.
feet. And so
Yep.
that apartment building, along with there's another one. I'm not gonna say the name because I don't want to make a mistake if it's the wrong apartment building. But it's one in downtown Houston that's known for bugs. And
Oh,
I saw a video on YouTube a few years ago, and there was so many bugs. Like I thought the video was fake.
oh
Like
no.
a
I
man, the man was literally taking video and was like, "Look how bad this is." Like he had to put his salts and his seasonings in a Ziploc bag and tie them, like zip them up to
oh
prevent the
wow.
bugs from getting into it. And then I went to this apartment building's website and I looked at the cost of the rent. I'm like, "Oh, that's why they got bugs." The rent was so
$500.
cheap. The rent was so cheap.
Yeah.
Anybody can get a room.
Yeah.
And it was in like a perfect location though. Like
Hmm.
downtown, but it was disgusting. And I'm like, there's no point in me even going to visit a place with bugs because if I see a bug, like,
No. I'm
look,
gonna lose
if I
my
see a bug,
mind.
I'm gonna be sleeping in my car because I'm gonna be scared to sleep in my apartment.
Exactly. So
So,
keep this in mind. I know everybody want to move to Houston, Dallas,
mhm,
Austin, maybe, but just
yeah,
keep in mind y'all need to really be looking at these apartments when
yeah,
y'all move
yeah. Because especially since it's warm, and a lot of these
in.
cities be
Hmm.
having like water damage, or they get
Yep.
floods, and I guess all the bugs go in people's houses because they don't want to be inside.
Yep.
But either you're gonna get a bug or you're gonna get robbed. Choose one. So,
It ain't
so
none of
Slim
those
Thug,
good
look,
options.
nah, nah. And Slim Thug say, "Hey, man, I can't live with bugs." And so I don't know if this is the same apartment he was in, but it's just crazy that
I hope
he
you're not
got
at
hit one.
jewelry place.
You
I
never
I
know,
hope.
because you
Yeah.
never know his financial situation. So I mean, I wouldn't even think he would be in an apartment, but you know, he may be one of your neighbors. You may see him walking through your building one day.
Hey, you never know. I done seen a couple people.
Right.
So you never
He gonna
know.
he gonna start rapping you like a boss. Isn't that one of his songs?
You're talking about Rick Ross.
Oh, that's
Rick
Boss
Ross.
Ross. all these guys. All these guys. Cool, cool.
Ooh.
So this next story, it's a pretty crazy story. The Wall Street Journal recently published a story about women recession proofing their lives. In the article, it talked about how women are proactively adjusting their lifestyles due to the rising cost of living and potential economic downturns. Some
Mhm.
examples that were mentioned in the article, it profiled, 3 women, and some examples were uh, one young lady she lived in New York. She decided to take the train to the airport and to work instead of taking an Uber, uh, cooking food for herself instead of ordering DoorDash and Uber Eats every day, doing her own hair and makeup instead of going to the salon. Uh, and also, the article mentioned women are starting to pick up side work and gigs such as daycare services to
Mhm.
earn additional income. So I know this isn't just limited to women, but are you seeing adjustments being made, by your peers in 2024, 2025 that reflect the changing economic landscape?
Yeah, I can't say for my peers, but I can say just for me alone, I've
Mm,
made some adjustments to my lifestyle.
mm.
I actually just had a conversation with my sister this weekend about how I probably would not have moved where I move now if
Mhm.
didn't wait till last minute
Hold on,
and my
let me
lease
stop
was
you.
up.
Let me stop you. So
Okay.
you know what I'm gonna say next after you talk about.
Ah, I do.
All right. So
Which
to the to the
go
people
for it.
that's not familiar, every year Kaya and I talk about her and her sister buying a house or getting an apartment together, and she doesn't want to hear it, of course. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I have thought about what you have said though, so
Mhm.
you may begin through at some point.
Right. After three
But I
years.
was, hey, that's better than 20.
Right.
But we had a conversation, and I was just like, I'm not really sure why I feel like I have to live in a high rise or I have to live in this certain type of an apartment. And don't
Mm,
get me wrong, I am very, I don't want to say bougie, but I like nice things. I
of
want to
course.
live somewhere where I feel safe. That
Same.
those things are very important to me.
Mhm.
But
And
I could
quiet.
easily, yeah, in that too. Very quiet. I don't want to hear nothing. But I could easily live in a mid rise and probably pay $300 to $500 less than what I'm paying. I've
Mm,
seen new built townhomes that I could do rent. I could rent to own. Like I think that I just need to start thinking outside of the box because
mm,
paying 2,000 plus for rent it's just silly for one. And
mhm,
I think that there's better options out there. I told you a couple weeks ago in one of the conversations that we had on here that I paid off my car.
mm,
Really been trying to just lessen my debts.
mm,
Got a different credit card so that I could get the associated bonus points. So really just being
mm,
very financially savvy, but also really working on like, do I need to buy this? Does my money need to go here?
mm.
Because we don't know what 2026 is going to look like. We don't know if we're going to be in the same position that we are this year. So I have seen a lot of women making videos of how to save money. Do you have to get your hair done? Do you need to
Right.
get your nails done? Maybe not. Or
Mm.
skip this month and do it next month. So, yes, I have been seeing a lot of conversations about that. And I can say that I too am a product of trying to become recession proof.
Right. Right. Yeah. Inside the article, they consulted with a consumer analytics firm, and it talked about how Google searches relating to doing your own hair have increased by like 17%.
Oh,
How a
wow.
lot of women have been doing their own nails. And like
Yep.
I mentioned, not taking Uber to the airport, but taking public transportation. Like if you're in New York,
Mhm.
DC, Chicago, I mean, just take the train.
Yep.
Um, what else? And also just ordering Uber Eats every day, eating out every day. It can become
Yeah.
expensive. You know, in the article, the lady mentioned she spent $80 going to the airport. That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
When a
that is
train ride is what, probably less than 20
$2,
bucks. Yeah, yeah,
probably $2, $3.
yeah. It's cheap. You know, I don't know what it is in New York, but it's cheap.
Yeah, that's true.
Of
Blue
of
line in
course, she's gonna.
Chicago was like $2.
Oh yeah, yeah. The train in Chicago, the L is cheap and it's unlimited. You can get on and go everywhere in the city as long as you don't get off. I mean, it's still the same fare. It's a flat rate. Um, but yeah, I thought that was an interesting article, and it mentioned women because women are responsible, according to the article in a analytics firm, 60%, over 60% of consumer spending. So when it comes to dining out, when it
Mm,
comes to shopping, hair and nails, self care,
yep,
women are the first to spend. As a
yeah,
man, you know, I go get a haircut. I may treat myself to a massage, a mani pedi, but that's a few times a year. It's not every
rare.
month. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
rare. It's I had my first mani pedi a few like I think 2 months ago, and I felt like I was walking on a cloud. I was like, I see why these women are doing this. Like, I felt good. Like my
And
feet
how
are
much
still
did you
soft.
pay for your mani pedi?
I don't remember because I didn't do the base package. I did like the lavender package where they put like wax on your feet and some
The
oils and
paraffin.
rub your
Mhm.
calves. I rub
Okay.
the dead skin cells off the bottom.
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
got a
I
deluxe
f-
package.
I felt so good. I may have to go back this weekend or next weekend. Like it felt good. I see why y'all spending that money.
But it's
So
expensive. I went
yeah.
yesterday. I got
Oh, okay.
brows, hair, or brows, nails, feet, and I think I spent maybe like 140 after tipping.
Yeah.
After tipping, so it was probably less than 140. After tipping, it was
Mhm.
probably 150 total, and
Yeah.
that's a lot of money.
And some people, I don't know if you do it. Some people do it every week. They get their feet and
Oh
hands
no,
done every week, which is
yes,
crazy to me.
no. I get
Every week.
my feet done like every month. This is the first time I
Mhm.
got my nails done in 2025 because I just don't
Mhm.
see the point in paying for it's a waste of
Mhm.
money to me personally.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to each their
And
own.
so,
But
of course, every woman is different, but like
yes.
how expensive it is for it is for a woman. I know you guys, not you, but some women have to do with hair, tanning,
Yep.
eyebrows, red light treatment,
Waxes.
Botox,
Yep.
waxes, lip inject. Like, how much can this stuff cost? Like, can you just run down like how much it would cost for the typical woman? It doesn't have to be you, but like for the typical woman.
I see people every couple of weeks spending several $100. Like
Oh my god.
obviously you just named off all these things, right? But I've
Mhm,
seen videos of
mhm,
because people will do like come with me to do my maintenance for the month. And I've seen
right.
people spend anywhere from 300 to $1,000. So very wide range. But I would say my maintenance on a monthly basis, because I don't do a lot, I don't care, is
Mhm.
probably like a couple $100, probably.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
is on the very cheap side. I don't get my hair
Yeah.
done every month. I don't do the other stuff every month. So
And you're not including gym membership because that's maintenance too.
no, I didn't.
Gym
Yeah.
membership. Like I said,
That's true. Yeah.
treatments of the hair. I've seen. I don't know if it's called keratin or carols, something women put in their head to make the hair thick.
Keratin treatment,
Keratin treatment.
silk
That's
press,
not.
braids, wig, whatever.
That's
It's all over the place.
that's too much, man. Like I said,
Yeah. It's a
I
lot
go
of
to the
money.
gym. I get a massage once in a while. Get my feet done, hands done once in a while. Uh, but that is expensive. $1,000 a month, and you ain't even paid rent yet. You ain't paid car note. You
Right.
ain't paid the insurance. Hell, you ain't
Yep.
even got paid yet. And you got to
You ain't
spend
gone
all
on
this
a
money. You
vacation.
went, yep, exactly, exactly. And so if you
It's
go
too
on a
much.
vacation, you got to make sure your self care is done right before it. So you hitting everywhere when you on them Instagram pictures or you on them date
Yep.
naps in Seattle and guys in other states and cities seeing you. I'm like, oh, look at her. Like, so it's expensive. And I was telling one of my male friends about it. Um, and because he didn't realize how expensive women are. And the women I
Hmm.
have in my life, I grew up with, like my mom and my aunts. They didn't do all that. They got their
Yeah.
hair done once a month. Um, I think I've seen my mom with her nails done probably twice as a kid. And one of those times was her getting married, so it's not something she did
Sure.
often.
Yeah.
She got her first massage thanks to me because you like to talk stuff. But she got her
There
first
we go.
massage thanks to me. So I got her a pass to Massage Envy, I think about a year ago. And she finally used it and she was like, oh, it was so nice. And I'm like, why would you wait 50, 60 years to get a massage? Like, come on,
See, you
ma.
could get that again. You could do that again this year.
Yeah, but she
But
kind of weird. She don't like people like touching her and stuff like that.
I'm the
So
same way. I totally get it. Same way.
yeah,
I'm not a
yeah, I
massage
don't care.
girly.
Look, when I get on that
Most men
on that
don't.
bed, when I get on that bed, I put that towel on. You touch me, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to. They
Yeah.
say,
Uh,
do you mind if a male or a female does it? I said, man, I'm about to go to sleep. I don't. Whoever the best person is the person I want to give my massage. I don't. Of course, you don't want some big dude, 6'8", just got out of prison giving you a massage, but I don't care. I'm going to sleep. Give me a massage.
yeah. To each their own. But yeah, I respect it. I know that you're not gonna scale back on your haircuts or
Oh no,
your
I gotta be out. Yeah, I
your
gotta be
one
out there.
annual
Gotta be out
massage.
there.
But yeah, please.
I gotta be out there. I gotta be because I got it's what summer. You can call it summer now since it's not officially
It is
summer, but it's warm out. I
pretty
was in the
much
streets
summer.
this past Friday. I gotta be fresh. I gotta be fresh. I need to go buy some new clothes. That's what I need to go do. But I gotta be out here. You can't be out here all nappy in the face and
Well, it's
crumbs on your side of
easy
your face.
though. If
But
all I
what
had to
guy?
worry about was my hair, yeah, like if all I had to worry
Mm,
about was my hair, then I'd be good too. I get that done
yeah,
every month, every 2 weeks.
yeah,
But so I would
yeah.
expect for you to still have a haircut. I hope.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So yes, summertime. So we outside. So gotta make sure my feet look nice. Even though I'm wearing
Thank
shoes,
the Lord.
they gotta be nice. And so yeah. But like I said, it's not just women, it's everyone that's trying to
Yes,
recession proof their lives. And a
we'll
lot of
all have
people
to
are
scale back. Yeah.
yeah, a lot of people are cutting like streaming services like Hulu,
Yep.
Netflix.
Yep.
And I recently told one of my friends that hey, you can get Netflix for free, you can get Hulu for free, depending on what uh, cell phone service provider you have because they offer you know free plans for those people. Spotify, they used to offer free plans, but you got to figure out a way to find stuff that at a discounted rate or for free, so you don't have to pay for the full price. If
Yep.
it
Your
includes
credit
you.
cards.
Yep. Yep. And also the
Most
points you
definitely
mentioned. A
so.
lot of these credit cards offer points, and I use the points to, shop on Amazon because Amazon accepts those points. And so
Yep.
when they see me in the mailroom constantly getting packages and they thinking I'm a baller, no, I'm just getting my points from my credit card.
Yep.
So
We really have to start
yep.
maximizing everything that we have to our full advantage. Employer, use those benefits. Don't forget those
Yep. Use
benefits,
employer.
y'all.
Yep. Yep. A lot of employers offer discounts to gyms. A lot of employers
Yep.
offer, gyms inside of the building that they occupy.
Yep.
But people don't take advantage of that.
We have a free one, a fully free one.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm not
definitely got to
using
take
it, but we
advantage of it.
got one.
Yeah. So look, you need to start using it. So yeah, because I
One day.
know yeah, you may not want to work out with your coworkers around. Uh, but that's another
They
story.
don't be in there. They don't be in there
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, and it's a way to beat traffic if you have to drive. So definitely take advantage of it. So
Yep.
that's it in terms of stories. Is there anything else you wanted to touch on?
No, I think those were great topics, good stories.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. All right. Thanks everyone for watching this video. Like I say, like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Follow us on social media. We're about to get some videos put out there soon. And we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Thank you.